Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly. This is primarily a drone show. We'll be sharing adventures from all over the world. We hope to have interesting guests every week, and we're glad that you tuned in tonight. We'll be flying different drones in different locations. We encourage viewer participation in the chat. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. Every week we'll have another interesting guest. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We'll be sharing various adventures by our guests as well as myself. And thank you for joining us tonight. Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly Live. It's Thursday night, and I have another great live stream scheduled with two awesome guests. I know you're going to find them both very, very interesting. I was just talking to them in the back room, and I got a little inside scoop on them, and I know you're going to love both their stories. So, um, if you saw the Facebook post, you know who they are, and it's Alejandro Rodriguez from Florida and Brandon Miner. He's a drone pilot from Ohio, and they both have real interesting stories. So stay tuned for a great show, really. But anyway, we got a great crowd in the chat already, and I'm humbled every week. Thank you all for tuning in. Really, you know, it means a lot to me. Um, But I tell you, I had a couple of meetups already. You know, this past week. I think I talked about the one I had in Port Jefferson with Angel and Jeff Norman. We got a nice little meetup in Port Jeff Harbor, and we filmed some of the ferry boats coming in from Bridgeport, Connecticut, and the other ones were leaving, going towards Bridgeport, Connecticut. But we had a great flight up there, a couple of great flights up there. And then just recently, I had another little meetup where, spur of the moment, I asked John Olson and Gene Costello and Kurt Blinkenshop to join me down at the Patchogue Lighthouse in Patchogue, New York. And we got a great sunset flight down there. It was really, really awesome. So anyway, I've been doing a lot of flying. Unfortunately, the weather's been raining the past 2 days, and I haven't been flying. But I plan on doing a lot of flying this summer while I'm up here in New York. And I just want to say hello to the people in the chat. And I know John Olson, he was in this afternoon. He checked in early. He was number one. And Drone Guy 42 Adventures, that's Angel. He was right behind him, number two. He watches in New Jersey. Then we had Al, South Florida Drone Flyers. And always good to see Al. And I know he had a mini meetup this morning down in Florida with a few guys. And we got Jody. Jody's watching. How you doing, Jody? Drone shots. I hope you're feeling better. I saw you had some surgery, and I want you to get well soon, and God bless. So, and we got TJ watching. How you doing, TJ? Good to see you. Always good to see TJ. Changed his name now. He's TJ Giggles FPV. Now that he's a Nevada pilot. So, and then we got Brian, Waypoint, New England. How you doing, Brian? And John, Connecticut Pirates in the house tonight. So always good to see John. And I'm hoping to get over on that ferry, John. Just let me know when it's good for you. I'll jump on the Bridgeport ferry and I'll come over to Connecticut and fly with you. And you can take me to some of your secret spots over there. But anyway, I don't want to go too fast. I'll miss some of the names if I go too fast. And we even got Kiko the monkey watching. He's watching all the way down in Nashville. And that means if he's watching, that means Barkley's watching number 107 drums. So always good to see Barkley and Kiko. And let's see who else is in the chat. I know I saw Alan Drone Views Media. He's watching all the way in Ireland. How you doing, Alan? And I see you're flying again over there. The weather's starting to get nice, I guess. And he puts out some incredible videos from Ireland. So, and we got Mio Drone in the house. How you doing? ¿Cómo está? And good to see you. And we got Lawrence, Novice Quads watching. You know, and I found out some good stuff last night while I was watching their show. They're planning on having a barbecue drone meetup, maybe in September. That's the last I heard. And I'm so glad to hear that because the one they had a couple of years ago, that was so successful. And I enjoyed flying with them. And I guess Herman will be on the grill, and Herman's a great cook. So I look forward to that. Then we got Ron Johnson. He's watching RJ's Aerials. How you doing? But listen, I'm going to get back to the name shortly. And there's Herman now. How you doing, Herman? Good to see you. And Joe Forleo's watching. How you doing? He's watching down in Texas. And we got Sky Control Productions. How you doing? He's watching all the way out in Hawaii. Good to see you. So anyway, I'm going to get back to the name shortly. And Ronnie, God bless America. But I got to say thank you to Ronnie because he was the first one to step up and say he's going to donate a raffle prize for next year's South Florida drone meetup. And as the people who attended know, he makes custom made wooden Betsy Ross American flags. And he agreed to make another one for next year's meetup. And that's always a great, great prize. So thank you to Ronnie. But anyway, I'll get back to the names. I'll try to keep an eye out as the people come in. But I don't want to keep the people in the back room too long. I didn't leave too much shrimp and lobster in the back room for them. So, and then we'll talk uh, about different things. But you're going to have a very, very interesting story coming from Alejandro. So I'd like you to give a warm welcome to Alejandro Rodriguez. He's coming to us all the way from Florida. How you doing? Oh, that's Brad. Sorry, Brad. Got to put you in the
That's all.
back row. Oh man, I'm telling you, this is what happens when you got new people. You mix them up. Hey, Alejandro, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good to see you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, and thank you for being on the show tonight. Really, you fly a lot down in Florida.
Yeah, I try to fly around, get a few. I live close to the Everglades, so it's always not Everglades National Park, but other similar ecosystems that are north of the Everglades. So it's nice to fly out there, see what's around, and also get to the beach. And I like to travel a lot, so every opportunity I get, I take the drone with me, and it's always a great perspective to see things from above.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. How long have you been flying drones now?
I want to say about 2 years.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
And do you remember what was your first drone?
Yeah, the Mini 2, the DJI Mini 2.
Okay.
I had it for quite a long time, and I just recently upgraded to the Mini 4 Pro.
Nice. Yeah, nice. The mini drones are great. DJI mini drones are great, I should say.
Hmm.
And I myself have the Mini 3 Pro, and I just recently got the Mini 4K. But how do you like your Mini 4 Pro? How do you like that drone?
It's great. It has a lot more stability in the camera, more flexibility with the angles of shooting. Um, I think it's faster, the range is better, and it has obstacle avoidance, which is a great plus from the Mini 2, which didn't have that. And I
Right.
unfortunately lost one in the trees when I was starting out. But they're great. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The uh, the obstacle avoidance can help. It can
Yeah.
help a lot, you know. But recently, I know you're a member of the South Florida Drone Flyers group, and that's a great
Mhm.
group. How long have you been a member of that group?
I think about a month.
Okay. And Al Cercione does a great job. He's the founder of it, and I fly a lot down in Florida with Al when I'm down there. So hopefully we'll get together with you.
Yeah.
And I know one of the best spots to fly is down by the port of Miami. We
Yes,
u-
it
we
is.
usually fly from the South Beach Park at the end of the
South Point.
inlet. Yeah. But anyway, I understand recently you were flying at the port, correct?
Yeah, I
You
was.
you want to share with the viewers what happened because it's a very interesting story to say the least.
Yeah, yeah, I'm happy to share. I think it's a good learning opportunity. Um, so many of you or some of you may know last week was Fleet Week. I'm not sure if it's done at the same time in multiple cities, but in Miami it was Fleet Week. It was the first year that it's hosted in Miami. Usually they host it in Fort Lauderdale. um, and I work close to the port of Miami. So I was very excited to know that the ships, the vessels from the military were going to be there, the Navy with some Marines as well. So I thought that it would be a great idea to fly my drone and get some nice video and pictures of images of these vessels, given that they are just, I mean, I feel like they are extremely cool. Um, and it was hard to get tickets to go to the Fleet Week itself and get an up close and personal look at the ships. So I said, you know what, I'll take my drone and I'll take some videos. Um, so I took off, and within about, I want to say, 4 to 5 minutes, I was suddenly surrounded by over 10 police cars.
Wow.
That also included an agent from the FAA and an agent from another federal agency that deals with aviation as it relates to the Defense Department. um, and they were not happy, to say the least, that I was flying my drone so close to the vessels. They said that my drone had to be registered um, by with the FAA, which afterwards I checked and it didn't have to be because it's below 250 grams.
Right.
I didn't have the trust certification, which they also said I needed, but it was a big no-no. Yes, as you say there.
Hmm.
So it was a horrible experience. I had a lot of police officers asking me what I was doing, who I was working for, and all sorts of things, making it seem like I was some sort of spy or doing something extremely wrong. I explained to them that I was just doing it for personal use.
Right.
I'm not selling any of the material that I take. That I work close to the port, and I was just very excited to take some images and videos. Um, they even floated around the possibility of like going to jail and things like that.
Hmm.
But they also tried to reiterate, the importance of not flying close to the ships
Right.
and um, making sure that you have all the certifications and things that you need. I had checked before; there was no TFR in the area, and there were no restrictions to fly above the port or around the port of Miami. There still are none. And I guess my lapse in judgment was thinking that because this was Fleet Week and the ships were open to the public and people were allowed to come in, and I had previously seen in their FAQ section online that people were allowed to take pictures on board. I didn't really sort of connect the dots as these being active military vessels engaged in military operations for that week.
Yeah.
Um, I said, well,
Right.
these are not on duty right now, even though technically they are. They're not doing their defense related work for the week. So I didn't think that it would be something so big. Thankfully, up until now, nothing has come of it. I think it was more of a learning opportunity.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it was an interesting event.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very interesting story that you're telling us. But
Yeah,
apparently they did want to, you know, find out why you were there, why you were flying, and that's a good thing, I think. Don't you agree at this point?
yeah. And I mean, it was good that it was me and no one else. I told him, I'm a proud U.S. citizen. I would never do anything to put in peril, any of our military personnel or vessels, or to do anything to our country. So I'm happy that it was me and not someone else with more nefarious intentions.
Right, right.
And I'm also happy that they have the technology that they do to detect these things immediately.
Yeah. We're going to have our next guest come in and talk a little bit about that because he knows all about that
Yeah.
detection system that they use sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, now you have your drone registered, correct? You ended up
Yes.
registering even though you didn't have to register it, right?
Yeah. I ended up registering it just to be safe, even though it explicitly says it doesn't have to. And I made sure to get my trust certification. And I have all those things in my drone bag to make sure that, if something does happen, that I'll have it ready. But hopefully, I don't think I will have any close encounters like that
Yeah.
soon.
Well, thank you for sharing it. And it wasn't to embarrass you by any means. Just everybody can learn something from your story. That's for sure.
No,
But
yeah,
anyway, guys in the chat, we welcome your questions and comments. You've been commenting. I've noticed it. I've highlighted a few of the comments, and that's good. But it's good to see Maddie in the chat. We haven't seen him in a while, but it's good to see him back. And we have a lot of regulars, Alejandro, that watch the show every week. And
okay.
I want to welcome you to our little group that we have. So feel free to pop in and join anytime. You don't have to be a
Yeah,
guest. But guys in the chat, if you're not subscribed, do you have a YouTube channel? I forget now. You do, right?
yeah, I do, but I don't post drone things yet. I'm planning on
Mhm.
opening a drone specific YouTube channel eventually.
I know I saw you on Facebook originally, and you
Mhm.
do quite a bit of photography on
Yeah,
Facebook, and you do a lot of traveling also.
yeah,
And your
I do.
photographs were incredible. They really were.
Yeah, I was surprised. I recently went to Ireland and I had my Mini 2 um, back when I went to Ireland in March, and I flew around the cliffs of Moher, and
Okay.
it was extremely windy, but the Mini 2 held perfectly. I have to say that the pictures came out way better than the videos, but still great quality. So I was surprised that it held in the wind. The gusts were pretty intense.
Yeah. No, I want to get to Ireland with my drone. I've been there a couple of times, but I never went with a drone, and it's on my list to get over there and fly. But Alejandro, I don't know if you know Alex Escardo, but he's the mayor of Miami, and he's one of the best drone pilots in the Miami area. Just to let you know. So good to see Alex in the chat. Yeah. Um, and I don't want to leave. Brandon in the back room too long because um, he is giving me faces. I'm looking at him in the back room and he's starting to make faces at me. So let's welcome in Brandon Miner, and he's coming to us all the way from Ohio. How you doing, Brandon?
Good. How are you doing, Ray? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no, very good. Thank you. Thank you for being on. This was a last minute invite, like 3 hours ago,
It was, but
and
that's all right. Happy to be on. Thanks for having me.
you graciously accepted.
Yes, I did.
But anyway, welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly Live. And as you see, we got a quite a group of people in the chat already. And Alejandro had a very interesting story to say the least. You know, but tell
Indeed,
us a
yeah.
little bit about your story. How you become involved with drones, and what was your first drone?
So actually, surprisingly, it's the same one. So I received a Mini 2 for Christmas. That was my first drone I've ever
Hmm.
flown, first drone I've ever operated, and I ended up crashing it within the first couple minutes. At the time, I didn't realize at nighttime, vision sensors and obstacle avoidance, you need light in order to take off to fly the drone. So um, I quickly figured that out, shined a flashlight underneath it. It took off and did its own thing. Ended up bouncing between the garage door and the ceiling and crashed, hit the ground. And I said, well, there's $500 broken. Surprisingly, I walked up to it. I just changed a prop. That was it. So it
Wow,
kind of got my head thinking like maybe there can be something in the repair world for DJI products and drones. And I was very surprised that it didn't break because it hit pretty hard.
wow,
Oh,
that's amazing.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
you ended up repairing your first drone.
yeah, just changing the prop, quick and
Hey,
easy.
hey, Leonard, JSK Enterprise, good to see you. Did I say hello to Uncle Bill? Bill Ronayne, how you doing, Bill? Or as Uncle Goomba. Well, anyway, that's an interesting story about your first drone, Brandon. So tell us
Yeah.
how far have you progressed? What are you flying these days?
Oh, so right now, just recently, we actually flew. I did a training with some agricultural guys here near Youngstown. They were out flying Agris T40s, so we went out there.
Why don't you tell everybody what you do? What's the name of your business and everything?
So I'm part owner and repair division manager at Priority One Drones. We're located in Ohio. We have two locations in Ohio. We do business across the country for sales, repairs, training, operations. So we're pretty well versed in the industry, and happy to. I'm more than happy to share my story. And um, yeah, so
No, that's interesting. Really. And you're expanding too from what you told me in the back room.
yeah,
Your
so
company
we
is
have.
really growing.
Yeah, we've had some significant growth since we started the repairs and sales division. Last year, around June, we've had over a 600% growth in our company. We started with three guys, and now we're up to 8 employees. So it's pretty exciting. We're very happy, in particular, where the industry's going and where we're going to end up in the industry down the road. So we're very
Hey,
excited and happy.
yeah, good. Interesting. How you doing, DJ Lee, Mr. Lee? Good to see you. But I find it so interesting. And the other thing is, I got to say thank you for your service because you are a firefighter or EMT. What do you
So
do?
I'm a
Oh,
yeah, so I'm a full-time firefighter paramedic by trade. I actually work on one of the busiest ladder companies in the city I work for. So I do full-time search and rescue, and then I do the drone business on the side, which is ended up becoming a very other full-time job. So
right.
stay very
Wow.
busy.
That's interesting. Now, does your fire department have drones? Do you use drones yet?
We do actually.
Hmm.
That's We have our own drone team. I'm part of the drone team there. We do a lot of defensive operations with the drone. So we find hotspots with the drone and we coordinate with the ground crews to find hotspots. Our on scene times have decreased substantially. So, you go to a big defensive warehouse fire that's been going for, 7 hours and we can limit that time down to three. So it's definitely an outstanding tool as far as firefighting is concerned. It it it's been awesome to
Yeah,
have in our back
nice,
pocket. So
very nice. Well, we got Warren. Warren, Ataki Rasho. He's in the chat. I always thought he lived in Michigan, but apparently he's in Ohio, and he was talking about a
yeah,
repair, or is it just commercial drones that you do?
so we repair all kinds of drones. So from consumer to enterprise to agriculture, we repair them all. So last year we had a huge influx of customers with deer recovery. I don't know if you've ever heard of that yet.
Yeah, he was a guest on my show
It's
when he was first starting out. Yep.
Yeah, here in Ohio, it blew up
Right.
significantly. So a lot of
Mike.
guys were
Mike.
yeah, Mike Yoder. Mike
Yep.
Yoder from Drone Deer Recovery.
Hmm.
Yep. So yeah, he was definitely the pioneer in the industry, and a lot of people started their own business and are very successful finding deer with drones. It's amazing the technology that people utilize now. So um,
Yeah. Well, the thermal cameras on some of these drones are incredible, right?
they are, yeah. So the thermal cameras, I mean, you have 640 by 512 thermals on these cameras, which are the best in the industry on a drone. You can zoom in 20 times on your thermal, and you can do a side-by-side picture with a, RGB camera or the wide angle camera and zoom in over 200 times. So it's it's amazing what these
Right.
drones can do.
Yeah. Well, he's got an Air 2S, so
Oh,
all
there you
right.
go. We
There
repair
you
those.
go. Oh man, I'm telling you, this chat is really moving tonight. It hasn't moved this fast in a long time. But anyway, that shows me that you guys are very interesting. A lot of comments going on.
Yeah. Thank you, Maddie, for your comment. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Um, and I found that drone deer recovery so interesting when he first started that, and I know he's since ran schools about it, and he's starting to license out his name if I understand the business concept correctly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
But anyway,
it's
you were also have two partners, right? And they're both in law enforcement. Is that what you told me?
yeah, yeah. So we have three owners of the company, including myself. The other two are full-time law enforcement. So they're full-time sheriff deputies. They're on the SWAT team, so they utilize Avadas for CQC operations.
Yep.
So we're
Hmm.
pretty well versed in public safety, and we love to support our public safety agencies. And starting a drone program, training, operations, you name it, we try to support our local agencies and even agencies across the country. So
So you do training to the different departments throughout the country, or
yeah, so we have training events that happen at our Xenia office, our main location. We've had companies or public safety agencies from New York come down and do a training with us. A lot of these drones go into a lot of detail as far as operations. And when they first start their drone program, they're quickly overwhelmed about how advanced the technology really is. And we bring the training to the table. We show them how to operate the drone, and then we go out and we go fly. And it's so far been very successful and very helpful for these public safety agencies to operate. So we're very happy with the success in the program.
oh, sure. Training's a big thing, especially with law enforcement and first responders, really.
Hmm.
Because a lot of you know it as well as I know it. A lot of the chiefs, they have no idea about drones.
Yeah.
The upper echelon of police departments and fire departments, but it's nice when they do come around and start a drone program.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is, we do have agencies that they don't know the technology, and we love to go out and showcase and demo the technology for them and show them how useful it really can be for their operations. And then we also get people with other public safety agencies that have drone programs to reach out to public safety agencies that want to start one. So
Yeah. I got to say hello to Jordy. That's a little short, bow short. He's watching up in Canada. How you doing, Jordy? And Hot Rod's watching. He's Hot Rod in Daytona. So, but anyway, good to see everybody tonight. Alejandro, they want to know if you have a channel yet, or you have a name of one.
No, I don't. Sorry. I'll be
All
starting
right,
one soon.
he's working on it. And now, feel free to put in the chat to your business also, um,
Yeah,
Brandon. I'm not good at typing in chats and all of that. I have enough time, hard enough keeping up with the comments. But Maddie's doing it. I noticed Maddie's doing it. So thank you, Maddie. I appreciate that. Yeah. Um, and while I have you both here, I know I mentioned it to you about the South Florida Drone Meetup, and we're going to have our fifth annual South Florida Drone Meetup in April, April 4th to the 7th, 2025, and we've been holding it at the Jensen Beach Causeway Park. And it's free to attend, so I'd like to invite both of you guys to come join us in April. And it's a good time. Last year we had over 150 pilots from all over the world. They came away far away as Spain and the UK, and 6 pilots came down from Canada. It's really a good time. So please join us if you can.
absolutely. Yeah, any excuse to go out flying, that's a good invitation. So I'm there.
Yeah.
So
Even Philip Koshat. How you doing, Philip? Good to see you. He was there. He had a good time. That was his first year coming to the meetup, and him and I hung out. We had a great time. And you know what we include on that meetup is the last day is a Monday morning. We include a fishing trip where you can fly a drone from the boat, and
hmm,
it's really, really a fun day too. But it starts off with a meet and greet on Friday night at the Sticks Billiard Club, and Bill Ronayne, he he manages that, and he lines up a nice sponsorship from them for us. And then we have a main day of flying on Saturday, and then we have a second day of flying on Sunday, and it's just a great time. It really is. So,
awesome.
and we already got 90 plus people signed up for next year. So
Oh, perfect.
let me know if you're coming. I'll add you to the list.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll definitely let you know.
Yep. And John K's in the house. How you doing, John K? Good to see you. I'm hoping I'm not missing any questions. And if I am, please bring them to my attention. And Ron saying he don't have sea legs. But the big bro, Ron, don't worry about getting seasick because nobody ever gets seasick. It's funny because JJ Grant, it was his first time coming. He says, sign me up for that fishing trip. But he spent half the trip in the cabin taking a nap because he wasn't feeling too well. But anyway, so anyway, guys, I really do you have I have a tip of the week, and if you have any tips, share them after I share mine. But my tip this week is a simple one: just keep a log book. That's what I do. I made it out of a little small composition type book. I didn't get one of those fancy ones that have the pre-printed information on it, but I just keep a little log of where I fly and who I was flying with, what batteries I used, what drone obviously you're flying. It's just a good thing. Do you guys have any tips for the viewers? Alejandro, do you have any tips other than don't fly
Um,
by naval vessels?
yeah. I think that would be the main tip
That's
I
a good
have to
one.
give
That's
right
a good
now.
one.
Yeah.
And what about you, Brandon? Any tips?
Yeah, yeah. To add on to your drone flight logs, how many out there are writing down maintenance for drones now?
Right.
That's an
Hmm.
interesting point, right? The FAA doesn't require any maintenance logs for drones specifically, but that is something that our company does do. So we test everything from the drones to the batteries, make sure there's no damage. everything's recorded. So if you come to us, have a general maintenance or a repair, everything's documented. And if there's an incident that occurs with an aircraft, we have that in our system. We can email all that information over to you. So super simple. You don't have to worry about maintenance logs. If you go through us, it's all in our system. So
Interesting. That's a good tip, a real
yeah.
good tip. But Alejandro, I know you said you had to leave a little early, and I don't know if now's the time you want to leave. If you do, you could just say goodbye to the viewers, and hopefully we'll see you again in the chats in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Great to share this unfortunate experience I had. But I'll definitely be joining the show often, and I will certainly be next year at the South Florida Drone Meetup.
All right, I'm going to put you down then. I'm going to add you to the list right now
Awesome.
because I keep it right on my cell phone now. So, and thank you. I'm glad you're going to come and join us.
No
But it
problem.
was a pleasure having you on the show. Your story was very, very interesting, to say the least. Um, really. Um, and I'm glad, there were no civil penalties or anything like that. And it was just an educational experience for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, you're going to be number 90, okay, Alejandro?
Okay.
You're going to be number 90 on the list. So thank you for
Perfect.
that. But we also have customized numbers, and it's over 90 now. So,
Okay.
but anyway, thank you for being on, and
Thank
we'll see you again in the future. All right.
Likewise. Take care. Bye
Have a
bye.
good
Take
night.
care.
But anyway, now Brandon, it's just you and I, and sometimes it's a little more personable when there's only one guest on the show. And most of the time, I only do have one guest. But lately, I've been having one, two, and a couple of weeks ago, I had Paul Brown and his two kids on also.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Yeah, Benjamin and Paul Jr. joined them, and that was great. It really was.
Good.
Because I told you that's a big focus we have about getting children involved
Right.
in flying
Absolutely.
drones. And I understand that you have two children and you have them in flying drones already.
I do. Yeah. Yes, I do. So I have a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old here at home. Um, when my 7-year-old was around 5, she saw me down in my office working on a FPV drone in beta flight. And anybody who's gone under beta flight trying to work on uh, on FPV drones, it can be overwhelming and sometimes annoying. So she made my day when she came down, asked me what I was doing, and she said, "What's that game you play on your computer with the controller?" And we went on a flight simulator, and she flew the FPV drone around, going through buildings, around trees. It was awesome. So,
No,
um,
that's
but
awesome.
yeah,
And that,
every
and
now and
that
again, go
no,
ahead.
that's a good way, right? Use that
Yeah,
flight simulator, right?
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So you can crash as many times as you want in a flight simulator, and you know, no harm, no foul. So
Right. I've never been in one, to be honest with you. I've never been in a flight simulator.
yeah, they're fun. They actually are really fun. So
And I know a lot of the guys who fly FPV say that's a great way to learn how to
it
really
is.
get used to flying FPV.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
So do you have an Nevada yourself?
do I have an Avata?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the Avata 1 and
Nevada
Avata
too. Yeah,
2.
right.
Mhm. So, yeah, we have some products coming out in the future, so if anyone wants to follow us, like or subscribe to our channels, we have YouTube, Facebook, our website is www.p1drones.com, so you can go on there and share, like, and subscribe, and we have some, upcoming products coming down the line that are going to be pretty exciting and some new news that we're going to announce here the middle of this year. So it's very exciting. Nothing but growth and bringing the drone community together. So
Well, that's good. That's great, actually. I'm not an FPV pilot myself. I've flown the Avata, I've tried it, and I've flown the DJI FPV, but I fly them like a camera drone.
Yeah.
So
So I have a story about the Avadas. We have for some of our law enforcement agencies, we sell a tactical light kit for the Avada. So one particular demo that we did, we actually flew down into the basement of their police department, and they had an elevator,
mm,
and we were able to fly the drone and hit the elevator button and ride the elevator up to the floor that we wanted to go to, and then just fly out. So.
wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty
they
cool.
they were like, "Wow, this thing's awesome." So,
Yeah, no doubt about it. That is cool. That's a good one.
yeah.
And I know
So,
a lot of police departments are using the Avata to use during their search warrants and raids, and it's a good thing. I think it's a good tool.
yeah, it's a great tool for law enforcement. Both the owners of our company, they use it at their full-time jobs, especially for CQC training or real life scenarios during SWAT. So they've had nothing but success with the Avata, and they're excited to get the Avata 2 in the loop too. So,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And that's a very popular drone. This Avata too.
yeah.
A lot of people in our little drone community have went out and bought it. You
Hmm.
know, and they love it. Everybody loves it. I haven't heard one bad thing about it.
Right. Yeah, no, it is a good drone.
Yeah, RJ, we love cruising also, but I didn't want to say while Alejandro was on because he likes our Royal Caribbean, and I love Royal Caribbean cruising, but I had just booked an MSC cruise 2 minutes before we got on the live stream
Oh, that sounds nice.
going to Bermuda, RJ. So,
Oh, wow.
but
Lucky.
anyway, do you do any cruising? Do you, Brandon?
I haven't been for a long while, so I'm overdue. So you might be pointing me in the right direction. I might have to get that booked and get on a cruise with me and my family. So much needed vacation for sure.
Yeah, we love it. We really do. And I look at cruises. I get notified of the cruise sales every week, and this one just popped up this afternoon. I couldn't believe it. The fare was you wouldn't believe it, $238 for six
Hmm.
nights, plus
Wow.
plus tax, of course. You know.
Yeah. Wow.
But anyway, and I've never been on MSC cruises, so I'm looking forward to trying it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll have a blast. So
But I've been to Bermuda, and Bermuda is one of our favorite ports. Have you ever been to Bermuda?
I have not actually. So I
Yeah,
would love to go. Definitely love to go.
and I'll be bringing the drone with me. I'll make sure if you need a permit over to fly in Bermuda, I get that prior to flying. But I plan on bringing it and flying in Bermuda. So
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
yeah, Bermuda shorts for me, definitely. Yeah. So, yeah, Barkley, it was a great deal. It's probably still available. Book it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good deal.
Yeah, it just popped on Facebook. It was one of those pop up Facebook
Really?
ads. I couldn't believe it.
Perfect.
So, but anyway, so what are you what are your plans more or less? I know you say you can't announce certain plans.
Right. So so we have we're looking at expanding, our company, get a better foothold in Ohio. So um, that's all I can really say about that before we announce mid this year. So we're definitely excited moving forward. But yeah, we're definitely looking on expanding, and hopefully we can help some more people out who, you know, crash their drone and need it repaired. Um, so yeah, we're definitely excited.
Yeah, no. Now, do you have a personal YouTube page or no? Not yet.
I don't have a personal YouTube page, just the business page.
Yeah, okay, I
But
got you.
yeah,
But
but
you do fly for fun, right? You like flying for fun?
I do. So on a business standpoint, I actually used to work for a telecommunications company. That's how I kind of started flying drones in the commercial world. I flew around telecom towers, doing orbits and taking photos for 3D modeling for a certain telecommunication company. One incident in particular, the vice president of the company came out with an employee, and I was doing my orbits. Well, the orbits were right next to high tension power lines,
Okay.
and I'm doing my orbits. I'm watching the drone. He's talking about the company, showing her what we do. And this inspection helicopter came out of nowhere, right above the horizon, beam line
Oh wow.
right towards the drone. So right away, I'm like, "Oh no!" Put it in sport mode, go down. The prop wash hit the drone, and the drone's going like this all the way down.
Oh my
I'm
God,
trying to
really?
control it, and I had 2-second photos while I was doing my orbits, and it caught just the split end of the helicopter going right past the drone. So, um, a lot
Wow.
of people will talk about near misses, but that was one for sure for me, and I hope that never
Definitely.
happens to me again. So,
And what kind of
but
drone was it?
it was a Phantom 4
Yep.
V2.
Okay. Yep.
Mhm.
The big white one. Yeah.
Yeah, the big white one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, from there, it's crazy. I've had a ton of experience flying all sorts of different drones, from the new Skydio drone, the demo, to the Agris drones, which are just beasts in the air. It's awesome to actually do spraying applications out in the field for the first time, and knowing what these guys deal with on an everyday basis and try to help them out in the field. So
Yeah. Those big commercial agricultural type drones are amazing. Really.
yeah, the
What
technology.
is the excuse me? What is the biggest drone you've ever flown?
That would probably be it, the Agris
Excuse me.
T40. That's probably the biggest drone I've flown yet.
And what's the
Um,
wingspan on that?
I would have to look at the specs on that, but, I mean,
Approximately.
it would probably be like 8 to 10-foot wingspan.
Wow.
Honestly, it's a big drone, maybe a little bit less, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but it seems pretty big, especially taken off of a trailer. So,
Yeah.
but
I mean, my biggest drone I've flown so far is the M30. You know.
that's a good aircraft. That when
Yep.
DJI announced that aircraft, that was the first time I saw a drone more as a tool than a toy, essentially. I mean,
Mhm.
I've flown Phantom 4s and did orbits, and yeah, it takes photos, but when you can zoom in 200 times and
Yep.
have a thermal on a drone, that was just unbelievable,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
A
So,
very good friend of mine, drone pilot Rob Kamada. He is a volunteer firefighter, but he flies drones for the Syosset Fire Department here on Long Island. And initially, he volunteered with his own drones, but he has since talked the chief and the commissioners into buying an M30. So that's their workhorse drone now for the fire
yeah.
department.
Yeah, I mean, it's an IP rated aircraft. It's got the capability. It's perfect for public safety. So,
Yeah. No, and
uh,
the thermal. When I he was the first one that showed me a thermal camera. I had never seen one, and he showed it to me on his Autel Evo 2 Pro, if I remember right. And I was so impressed with that. But now he's got this on the M30T, and
mhm.
wow, you know.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's interesting where the industry's going to, because you have the M30T. It was the workhorse for the Enterprise series for a while now, and now they came out with a smaller dock system where they're making drones more automated. So the Dock 2 system with the M3 TD, that's amazing, where you can operate that aircraft from your computer. So, as far as like renewable energy companies or security companies, they can fly that drone off of the computer. It amazes me what these drones
Right.
can do. So,
I give him a lot of credit because, like I said, he's a volunteer, and he was the drone pilot, but he has since started a training program, like you were talking about doing,
mhm.
and he trains firefighters here on Long Island now at different
Perfect.
departments. So
That's
my hat
awesome.
goes off to Rob Kamada, also known as Don Cheech. Barkley was wondering who I was talking about. That's a joke. Everybody knows Rob. So, but anyway, it's hard. Like I say, it's hard to keep up with the chats.
It
Uh,
is sometimes, yeah.
but but again, I find you and your company very very interesting,
Yeah.
Brandon. Really,
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
you
But
know, and I know there was another question I had for you, but now I didn't write it on my little cheat sheet, and
uh-oh.
now it's slipping my mind. But okay. What's your favorite drone to fly, personally?
So my favorite, it probably goes back to the Phantom 4. I've flown those things so much and I've crashed those things so much. It's that's kind of how I started in the repair world, is because when the company told me like, oh, you have a lot of obstructions at this site, and I tell them, well, I can try to fly this site, and I would keep a spare drone with me. Sometimes I'd crash them, fix them on site. I would have spare parts with me, so I could just keep moving on to the next site. But
Yep.
yeah, the Phantom 4, that drone's a beast. I mean, that thing can take some beating. Um, and I love that drone. I love flying that drone. Um, but as far as enterprise series, I'm I love the M30T. That drone is amazing. And
Hmm.
second best would probably be the M3 TD.
Right.
So
Yep.
I'm starting to dive deep into that drone and the dock system and what it can do. So
Oh, the
yeah.
dock system.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. Okay.
yeah, the DJI Dock 2 system.
Are
So
they becoming very popular, these dock systems?
For surprisingly, for security companies, we have a couple security company that have reached out to us about these systems. You have to look at BV loss waiver in order to get these systems
Yeah.
completely remote. So you have to get that through the FAA and approved. But as far as the capability of the aircraft, renewable energy, that's going to be huge for renewable. I mean, thermography to inspect is the way to go instead of taking your power offline. So, yeah, we've had a lot of customers in renewable energy and security, particularly, have a huge interest in those drones.
Yeah. Well, I know I've seen the Mavic thermal, Mavic 3 thermal.
Yes.
Rob, John, Connecticut Pirate has one, and he had last year came over on the ferry to fly with me in Port Jefferson. And when I saw his drone, I said, "Wow!" I have the Mavic 3. That's my favorite drone that I fly. But that thermal camera, just I don't know. There's just something about a thermal camera. I wish I had a use for it because I would
Yeah.
definitely buy one.
Yeah. We sell the M30T the most, the Mavic 3 thermal second, but the M3 TD is going to be coming up to close third, only because it's
Price
almost
point,
exactly like the Mavic 3. The
right?
pricing's really close to the Mavic 3
Right.
thermal.
It,
And it's IP rated, so you can fly it in the rain, you can fly it in snow. I mean,
See, now
it's
I'd be petrified to fly my drone or a drone in the rain. You don't worry about that?
No, no, honestly, I
Really?
mean, no, no, not IP rated aircraft. I mean, they're waterproof, they're dust proof. So as long as you take care of them, clean them after every use, and make sure you maintenance the aircraft appropriately, you'll have no issues whatsoever. A lot of our deer guys, in order to find deer, inclement weather is the best
Hmm.
weather to actually search for deer. So,
Right.
especially with thermals.
Yes.
So
Right. Anyway, I didn't say hello to Sean, Mr. Crowley. How you doing, Sean? Good to see you. He's watching up there in Massachusetts, and we got Joel, Mr. Skyfly, watching now. How you doing, Joel? Good to see you. And I tell you, um, every week I say it. I'm humbled that the viewers tune in to watch my live stream. Johnny Alfonso and myself started the Fly for Fun show over 4 years ago now, and it became pretty popular. And then we both decided to start our own live streams, and we've been doing that. But while I'm talking to you, don't forget about the Fly for Fun show every other Wednesday night at 7
Okay.
p.m. But it's on
Okay.
the Johnny's Drone Flyer channel.
Okay.
And we have fun during that live stream too. And next Wednesday, we have Billy Kyle on.
Oh,
You know who Billy
perfect.
Kyle is?
I know who Billy is.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yes, Billy is going to be our special guest, and it's always good to have Billy on. He comes to the South Florida Drone meetup, by the way.
Oh, does he? Oh,
Yes,
that's
he
perfect.
does. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Next year you'll be seeing me. So
all right, I'm going to put you down then.
yeah,
Number
put me
90,
down.
91. You're going to be 91.
All right. Perfect.
But we got a celebrity in the chat now, Chris Hope. He's watching down in Texas. How you
Oh,
doing,
nice.
Chris? Good to see you. So I tell you, the hour goes by so fast,
It does.
and I can't believe that um, it's that time already where we sort of got to say goodbye. But let me mark you down on the list before I forget, Brandon.
Awesome.
And if you're gonna, come with your family, we recommend that you do. It's you can turn it into a little family vacation. There's beautiful beaches in Florida,
Yes, sir. Yeah. No, I'm excited for it.
and I'd mentioned this to you and Alejandro, but we get a lot of raffle prizes donated to the South Florida Drone Meetup, including drones. And it takes well over an hour to give them all away. So
That's
uh,
awesome.
it is, and I got to say thank you to all our sponsors that do get involved with the South Florida Drone Meetup, and we appreciate it, and we couldn't do it without them. And obviously the people that come. So thank you for coming. We look forward to meeting you in person
Absolutely.
and flying with you. And most of the guys in the chat, they'll be at the South Florida Drone Meetup. So,
Perfect.
but anyway, I hate to say it, Brandon, but now's the time for closing thoughts. But before we do that, I got to do the contest for the monthly giveaway, which is a $10 Amazon gift card. Um, I had them handy here, but most of the time I do an e-card anyway. But we give away a $10 Amazon gift card, and um, it's a very sophisticated contest, and you're eligible too because you got to pick the lucky number between 1 and 50. So you can put it in the chat, and I'll keep an eye out for it to see who gets it first, and then their name goes in for the monthly drawing. But somebody's very close right now. Oh, somebody got it. I see it. I see it. And hopefully this person is the first one who got it. But it was Chris Hope, number 24. So, Chris, with number 24 written on the paper, I'll put your name in the hat for the monthly drawing. Congratulations. So, but anyway, like I said, it's time for closing thoughts now, Brandon. So, again, thank you for being on. You were an awesome guest. You and Alejandro.
Yeah.
I found
Yeah.
you
Thank you for
very
having.
interesting, really. Your story and your
You.
company
Yeah.
sound awesome. So,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
and
Yeah.
again,
Alejandro's story is his story was very interesting to me. So,
right, but it
but
sounds like you got a very successful drone company.
thank you.
You really do, and you got it all covered. From selling drones to training, and
Yeah.
like I say, I look forward to meeting you in person. But we'll be in touch in the meantime.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for having me on this evening.
And I'm
This was
sure if
fun.
anybody in the chat has any other questions, you can always contact Brandon via his website, and he'll be sure to get back to you and answer your questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody has any questions on products or repairs or the process, just reach out to us. We do free estimates, by the way. So you crash your drone, you send it into our office. We do a free estimate. We let you know how much it's going to cost before we do anything with the drone. We document everything and we get it repaired and get you back up in the air as quick as possible. So,
Well, thank you. Thank you for being on tonight. And I wish you all the success in your business and stay safe while you're out there firefighting. And we'll see you again soon. And everybody in the chat, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And I know Johnny and I both appreciate it when you watch the Fly for Fun show. But there's so many great drone live streams. You know, we have a guide right here, Brandon. These are all local drone live streams that we have. And
oh, wow.
if you want a copy of this, I'll be more than happy to send you a copy. So,
Perfect. Yeah.
but anyway,
No, I
thanks a lot,
appreciate
guys. Thanks for
Yeah.
watching.
Thank you so much.
And Brandon and I are going to continue eating the shrimp and lobster